Martin Luther King Jr. was a Baptist minister and a civil rights leader. He was born into a very religious family where his father was a pastor and his mother was a school teacher. He studied in the South where he faced a lot of racism at such a young age. But despite the challenges, he was a very bright student and he skipped 2 grades attending Morehouse College in just the age of 15. He eventually ended up with a PhD in theology, and he later ended up with a PhD in theology, and despite the challenges he faced, he made a very big impact on the world. And my friend Julie will be talking about his major research.
Now I will talk about one of the key turning points that launched MartinLutherKingJr. into missionary leadership, the most gathered West Point. In 1955, a great African-American woman named Rosa Parks refused to give a house to a white man when a segregation was in Alabama. She was arrested, but her quiet act of resistance sparked a peaceful protest. Martin Luther King Jr. stepped forward to help this protest. For over a year, African Americans refused to ride city buses and choosing to walk, carpool, and cycle instead, despite facing threat, arrest, and violence. Throughout it all, the protest still non-violent. This was exactly what he believed. Finally, in 1956, the Supreme Court ruled that bus segregation was unconstitutional. This was a huge victory, and it showed the country that peaceful protest could bring real change. So let's move to the next slide. After this success, Martin Luther King Jr. knew that they needed to build something bigger. So in 1957, he co-founded the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, or SCLC. This group brought together Congress and civil rights group to work for racial equality across the South. Dr. Luther King Jr. became the first president of SCLC, but more than being a leader, he was a visionary, and that he inspired everyday people like students, workers, and families to join together in a peaceful protest. The SCLC organized boycott sit-ins and marches. Through this efforts, he proved that non-violence, unity, and faith could move a nation. Okay, next slide. Okay, even though Martin Luther King Jr. led with peace, he was consistently arrested, threatened, and attacked, but he never gave up. One of the most powerful movements came in 1963 during Birmingham campaign. At the time, even though he against the Birmingham campaign, he was jailed peacefully after he protesting peacefully. At that time, he wrote the famous letter for Birmingham jail. I respond to people who told him to be patient, but he believed that waiting for justice is not justice at all. In that letter, he wrote, injustice errors is a threat to justice error. This quote is more than just words. is a reminder that silence can be harmful while others are suffering. Even in prison, he expressed a movement. He encouraged, showed the world that true strength comes from standing up peacefully, even when it's hard. So Dr. Luther King Jr. wasn't just a leader, he was a voice for justice, a model of non-violence, and a symbol of hope. So the next slide, here you go, explain.
So now I would like to present about one of his most iconic speeches. So August 28th of 1963, at the Lincoln Memorial, Martin Luther King Jr. gave one of the most powerful speeches in history. He spoke to more than 250,000 people, and he shared a vision where there's equality and unity, and people are judged by their character and not their skin color. And his words, "I have a dream," did not just describe hope. It sparked a movement, and it gave voice to the urgency for racial justice in America. And also, Martin Luther King Jr.'s activism changed words into law. So in the Civil Rights Act of 1964 was a direct result of years of people protest, marches, and national pressure. It was signed by President Johnson, and it outlawed segregation and discrimination in public spaces such as schools and jobs. And also his role in this achievement also showed that non-violence could change the law and China's power. And also, later that same year in 1964, he also won the Nobel Peace Prize. And this also made him become the youngest recipient at the age of just 34. And the world also recognized his commitment toward peaceful resistance and moral leadership. This also means that this Martin Luther King Jr. did not treat the award like a personal victory. Instead, he donated every cent of the prize money towards civil rights organizations So now I'm going to present about another thought. So despite all the progress we have, many of the African Americans were not able to vote. So in response, he led marches in Selma, Alabama, but these peaceful protesters were faced with brutal violence. So this outreach pushed the Congress to pass the Voting Rights Act in 1965, and it banned discriminatory practices such as diversity tests, and this made voting accessible for everyone in America. And this also means that he turned hate into power, and it shaped democracy itself. So for the next slides, AndSandakuu will continue presenting.
So Martin Luther King Jr. strongly believe in non-violation resistance is a way to change the society. He was inspired by Mahatma Gandhi in teaching and thought that peace and love can change his powerful tool to change the life, and then powerful tools to change the war, and then his led peaceful protest and march and boycott. After that, he was Martin Luther King Jr. is inspired by Throughout his life, Dr. King is led through that march and boycott. His whole life, he showed that people can change without violation. By standing together, speaking out with the courage, they can change the war. And his action had courage and challenge. After that, they can break down the system of
was celebrated every year, that of January. And it's only not just a holiday, it's a reminder of Dr. King Jr. Dr. King Jr. In equality and ongoing fight for justice. After that, it's remind us for ongoing fight for the racial justice. Lastly, honoring the dreamer, we have to honor the dreamer, like stand up for what is right, no matter your background, and walk through a more just and improve the society. Honor his memory by promoting freedom, equality, and brotherhood, because it's not only belong to him, it's like belong all of us. So that's the end of the presentation. Thanks.
As a summary, when you are violated or you're treated unfairly, people tend to use violence against it, and as a comeback, they tend to be more violent. But Martin Luther King Jr. chose non-violence and justice and equality, so that's why we remember him to this day. Any questions?
Actually, I got two. First of all, what is the importance of SCLC in your opinion?
SLC, that is to like group together to protest and to deny racist and discrimination at the time. So basically,
In our opinion, it's about coming together as one to ask for something or
to protest.
protest.
Okay, and the second question, what lessons have you learned about his assassination in a positive way?
Regardless of how you try to be silent, people who have strong morals and strong core beliefs will stand up for themselves and work towards their goals.
What aspects of Martin Luther King's vision are still relevant today?
His visions about equality when it comes to racism, because to this day there is so much racism towards people of color, even in America. So his request for justice and equality is still valid until this day, and a lot of people still need to learn to be kind and learn from him that everyone deserves to be treated equally.
How did his I Have a Dream speech affect civil rights movements around the world?
So in the speech that he spoke, he used that word as a repetition, and this kind of like pressure all the spectators and even the listener, and it gave the pressure for the nation. So they as I said, they had doors, and basically his words changed into doors.
Okay, in your opinion, right? I don't know why I keep saying this, but why do you think he got assassinated?
Yo.
And equality are mostly silenced because there's a lot of authorities that don't want people of color or anyone, even women when it comes to that, to speak up for themselves and ask for their birthrights.
Faith, bro, faith.
Assassination was more of silencing anyone who asks for their rights because they want to lead it in a certain way.
Okay, thank you.
Brother, it's just fake.